Are you always coming up with ideas? Do you marvel at successful business owners? Do you hate being told what to do? Ever take things apart just to see how they work? Are you a dreamer? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneur Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. I am your host, Kevin Wortham. And when I say life's coming attraction, this brother here gives me life. If you've ever been down to Cooper's River, or if you've ever been to one of his shows, DJ Ed Edwards is the man. He brings life to you. Brother Ed, DJ Ed, welcome to the platform, man. How are you, sir?
I'm great, man. I'm great. It's a blessed to be here. Happy Friday to everybody.
Yes.
And whoever listens to the podcast.
Yes.
You know, this is a great thing you're doing, Kevin, and I'm glad that you invited me to be on your podcast today. So let's chat.
Listen, so I had to have you, man, because when I saw you dancing and when I saw Paul Scott dancing, I'm like, these brothers, they love what they do. And then as I was mentioning in my intro, when the audience sees you dancing, you give them life to dance even harder. So how did you start this house music journey?
Oh, well, it started, well, I'm going to give you a little backstory.
Yeah.
I always was into music because my dad played the congas. He listened to jazz. I grew up in the Bronx.
Yes.
So every Saturday morning, you know, before we went out to play sports or hang out with our friends, you know, we had to do our tours, and my dad played jazz. He played the congas. So I had a love for music.
Yes.
I took music when I was in middle school and high school. I did all woodwind. So at that point, I had a knack for music. It was basically in my DNA.
Yes.
So what happened was, growing up in the Bronx, I really started DJing as a hip-hop DJ.
Okay.
In the culture, yes, because what happened was, this when hip-hop was underground. Nobody knew about it. We had parties at the center.
Yes.
They had parks outside. So every single block had a crew.
Yes.
Right? So that was my love into, okay, the DJ, turntables, amps, records, and stuff like that. But what happened was, when I got to the military,
yes,
and I'm fast forwarding, you know, through college, because I went DJing when I was in college, you know, just doing R&B, hip hop.
No, let me stop you for a second. When you were in high school, were you DJing in high school and doing parties then?
You know what? We were just doing DJing on the block. You know, setting up parties in front of somebody's house,
gotcha.
Going to the neighborhood parties, you know, buying the records. I was the DJ, and my friend Stanley, Double O, he was the DJ. We had 4 MCs, and everybody tried to be, you know, be down with the culture.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
So then what happened was, during that same time, I was going roller skating.
Okay.
So I was in the skating group in New York, and then also we was going to the Silver Shadow,
yes,
Bentley.
Yes.
So you can see that flavor. And this was like anywhere from 79 to 82, 83, 84, because even when I went to college, I came back home.
Yes.
So when I was in college, I was still DJing. So
yes.
that's the love for the music. And then I didn't do well in college, so I joined the Air Force.
Yes.
So when I joined the Air Force, I was stationed at McGuire.
Yes.
I got to McGuire in 1986.
Okay.
Right? So at that point, I was going from McGuire back to the Bronx to visit my family.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, you know, I was like, we went to a club. We was like, okay, this is house music. You know, we went to New York and we were starting to hear house music. And then when I was at McGuire, it was a couple of folks on the bass.
Yes.
Bridget and Jazz.
Yes.
Right? And, you know, at the NCO club, I started DJing at NCO club.
Okay.
In 88. We started, you know, I had to introduce house music because you had a lot of folks from North Jersey coming to the base during reserve weekend.
Yes.
So that's when I was like, okay, we want to start hearing some house. And I knew club music, from WBLS, going to Silver Shadow, you're hearing that, that club music,
Yes.
train. And, I was more, okay, that's the radio music, the club music. But house music started hitting me. I'm like, okay, I kind of see the difference from the disco-ish to the house music.
Yes.
So what happened was, if I wasn't DJing on a Saturday, we used to go to the Zans. And that's when I thought, yes.
Okay.
We used to meet up, and we used to race to the Zans, from McGuire to the Zans.
No,
because
were you
in your uniform? No.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, man, right? Because I was a computer specialist in the military.
Yes.
So, we was off, Saturday evening, we started going to the Zan.
Yeah.
And, okay, all right, I like this. So, and once in a while, we used to go to the garage and stuff like that.
Yes.
But, Zan was more convenient because it was right there in Newark.
Yeah.
So that was really my introduction to house music. And I always loved to dance. So basically, I was just dancing because house music back then was a little bit slower. The BPMs were 118, 120, and you can see that it was picking up. I was like, yeah, all right. You had the New York style.
Yeah.
You had the Jersey style, and then you had the Chicago style as well. So being a DJ, I was basically going to Abby's Records.
Okay.
We used to down there Tuesday, me and my boys, we DJ. We went to Abbey Records in South Orange, bought all our records.
Okay.
Listen to it, get ready for the parties that we had down in South Jersey.
Got
because
you.
we had, for the reservists that came up.
Yes.
So then what happened was house music became real popular. Late 80s, 90s, you hear house music all over the place.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction. That's when I became a house head.
Okay.
I was like, yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm feeling the vibe, the groove. I get my dance on and stuff like that. And then that's why I continued to get into DJ.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my introduction to house music.
Wow. Now you brought back some fond memories because when you mentioned Silver Shadows, right?
Yeah.
I remember going to Silver Shadows when Loose Ends made their first American debut at Silver Shadows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was there it was a Saturday night, and that Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning I was going away. So when you talk about reserve or being in the service, so first of all, thank you for your service. I felt the same way because I wasn't going into the service. I was going to football camp.
Okay.
And so that night I'm dancing with this girl, and I think mentally I fell in love with her, So you do that typical thing. I'm going to keep in touch with you and this, that, and the third. And then when you get to camp, you realize that as a senior, as a freshman, you have no phone privileges. You are the last one to get the phone.
Right.
So much for that relationship because I can never get to the phone on time to call.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to, because I was born and raised here in Trenton. So we would often make that trek to New York, to Patterson, to Zans. Mm-hmm. And I was just being reminded that sometimes we would get off at exit 15W and then take the 280 and get off there at South Broad, as opposed to coming up South Broad and getting off at exit 13.
That's how we Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You be coming across that bridge, man, and you can hear the bass then, like, whoa, we gonna party tonight. Like, wow,
yeah.
wow. So now where did you get your I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I like to get there early because when you get to you're downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you go upstairs, I was like, okay, all right, some more DJ right here, we get
And very few people know that transition because they always remember coming in late enough that you went just straight up the stairs.
Right. Yeah, because we get there early. I mean, because you want to find parking.
Yeah.
You park on the side by the bridge.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and you just want to make sure you can get in.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Now let me ask this question because this other girl just told me. I posted something on Facebook this morning. And she said that there was lions and tigers there. Did you ever go there when there was lions and tigers?
I don't remember no lions and tigers. I mean, people said it was, but I don't know. I don't remember. Only thing I remember go in and dance, and I remember Tony Humphrey.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, he played "Do You Want to Get Funky with Me?"
Yeah.
It's so hot, and they just had a remix. My next set, and that just brought back so many memories because I was so tired. Because what I used to do is when my parents was alive in the Bronx,
yes,
I used to, instead of me driving back to McGuire, I used to go and visit my family. I used to go home.
Yeah.
So now you talking about Sunday morning.
Yes.
7:00. I'm driving a stick shift, and my legs are tired. I'm getting trying to drive a stick shift with a cramp. It was funny. And sometimes I used to see my dad. He used to go to work, at the New York Thruway Authority. He was a toll collector.
Yes.
And sometimes I used to see him pass when I'm coming home. We used to high beam each other or just sit back. It was up. I see when I get home, and I was just so sore from dancing.
Yeah. Oh my God! So now, what kind of equipment were you rocking at that time?
All right, so what happened was back when I was at McGuire.
Yes.
I'm going to start at McGuire because that's when I really got serious with DJing. Because before then, I had like Technics B1, belt drive, mixer, Radio Shack mixer back then. But when I got to McGuire is when I really said that I'm going to make this a business. And this was 1988 because I was at McGuire from 86 to 91.
Yes.
So by 1988, I was still going to the club, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get into DJing.
Yes.
I'll get back into it.
Yes.
So I bought my first pair of Technics 1200.
Okay.
I had a DLI 700 mixer.
Yes.
Had the 3-band EQ.
Yes.
I got some speakers. I had Soundcraftman speakers because my grandfather managed cooperative auditorium.
Yes.
In Grant Street, New York, and some band left some speakers and a power head. And he said, if you want it, you can have it.
Yes.
So I had a power head, Soundcraftman power head, 2 tall speakers, which I managed to fit in my car, drove them home, and that was my first DJ setup.
Wow.
That was it. Buying vinyl. We used to go to Abbey Moving Records.
Yes.
See Abbey owner, my buddy of mine, because we still played house, and we used to go to New York to get our reggae.
Yes.
And we used to go to Philadelphia just to get the R&B on Market Street. So we were just going to different stores buying the records. But it was going to Moving Records was like, you take that ride on a Tuesday night when they come out with the new stuff, bring it back, break it into your set and rock it out. Wow.
And so how were the people responding to your house sets when you were starting to play it on bass?
Because it was that's when house music was picking up steam.
Yes.
Because you had your reservists that came on the weekend. So reserve weekend, I always got scheduled to play at the NCO club. So when you had the reservists come, and then you had people that was stationed at McGuire from New York, from New Jersey, or maybe from Chicago, was picking up house music. They were hearing it from their friends, people talking about it, hearing the music space. So you always had to play an open format. Okay. So with me, it was R&B, reggae, house.
Okay.
Because that's what you had your audience. So you had a mixture of everybody.
Yeah.
Right? My love was house music. I mean, I still love the R&B and all that stuff, and the reggae because my family's from the island. But, when the house music came, you can see all the house heads on the dance floor, You gotta rock. You gotta rock what they hearing on a regular basis when you come out to the bass.
Yes.
Can't. So whatever's hot in Newark or whatever's hot in New York, you got to make sure you play it. I had to make sure I played at McGuire.
Now, question: did anybody, break out the baby powder then for you?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you. They came up because they brought that culture with them, or people who would stay face. So you had outlets that came out and was getting their groove on. Yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy. That's crazy.
I had a couple of DJs. Daryl was DJing with me, with buddy Sean, who's now in Texas.
Yeah.
And Sean loved house music. Daryl was house music, R&B.
Okay.
Sean was house music and reggae because he was from Jamaica. So we had a nice team.
Yes.
And we used to rock it out, man. And then I continued to build the system. I started having PV subs. You start building as you continue to grow, and
yes.
we had a nice system. Yeah.
Now I'm curious, right? So
Uh-huh.
seemingly you knew when the culture was growing, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think how far do you think the culture has come since then to now?
Well, it's interesting you say it because to give you a little backstory, I took a break from DJing when I got married and had my kids.
Yes.
Because you can't DJ raising two boys, my first marriage,
Yes.
then my second marriage, I have a bonus son, so I have three altogether.
Yes.
So it was 95 to about 2001.
Okay.
2002. I was just involved in just raising kids, being coach, dad, etc. So I still listen to the music, but I slowed down in DJing.
Okay.
Got back into it 2007.
Got you.
Then I can say, all right, I was catching up with the house music, with the 90s and stuff. The tempo got a little bit faster. And, you still had, DJs playing, but also you had the digital age.
Okay.
And the digital age made the game, in my opinion, easier to get into.
Okay.
Because you had CDs was coming out, you had Serato was coming out, and back in the days, you had to go find your records.
Gotcha.
You had to find whole benches. You had to go shopping. You had to go to the record shop, and if they had 10 imports that came out, you had to hope that you was one of the first individuals to capture that import, and you're gonna pay import money.
Yeah.
$12 a lot back in the days for import. But you knew you had that track. You had that reach. Now, from a DJ point of view, the game is easier because there's so much music available from a click. I can sit right here and purchase music, and I say purchase because I respect the artist.
Yes.
You got folks just giving music away, and that's not cool because I produce music too. You put all your hard work into a track, get it mixed down, you pay somebody to master it for you, you get a distributor or yourself to throw it on TrackSource or iTunes,
yes,
and you get somebody to give it to somebody for free. That's not cool.
Gotcha.
We all got it. So now it's easier to get into the game.
Gotcha.
A little more competitive because you got, even though it's easier, you got, the controllers, the CDJs, that have all the technology tools. And that's a whole debate among DJs. I'm a technology buff, so, I embrace technology. But it still comes to exactly what you play.
But let me stop you there for a second and ask this question. So even though you're a technology buff, are you mixing manually, or are you allowing the system to mix for you?
No, I mix manually.
Okay.
So, because I learned on turntables.
Yeah.
Now it's convenient because you're gonna have beats per minute. If you rocking at 124, of course. Your other deck is going to be 124, so they match up. But I don't use the sync button or anything like that.
Gotcha.
And there's reasons for that. Technology is great unless you make that perfect track. It's going to be on sync. But I always like to be in control.
Yes.
Because if you playing classics, as the drummer get excited, right, the pace picks up.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And that's why back in the days you had to know the song. And I tell every DJ, learn the record inside and out, because there's going to be a pitch change or BPM change where it may go up. You at 121, it may go up to 121.5. A sync button's going to throw that off.
Yeah.
You got to understand and learn how to ride. We used to say, ride the songs together, where you had to adjust the pitch on the turntable. Same thing you have to do on a CDJ, depending on the track, to keep it locked.
Yeah.
So always like to mix manual just to stay in control.
Gotcha. No. No, yeah, and again, that's a good point you bring, because that is a conversation with the younger DJs coming out. They didn't have the experience of mixing on a turntable, so all they know is technology, and so I don't know how they avoid not using those buttons, right?
Yeah, and it's really, and that's the thing that really gets on my nerves with old heads.
Yeah.
They say, but people say you're not a DJ unless you mix on vinyl.
Gotcha.
And I said, you know what? That's bull.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a personal example. I had 1200. My son Evan, which now he's in Florida DJing.
Yes.
He never played on 1200.
Okay.
He played on DJs. He played on a controller, and now he's doing his thing because he learned how to mix. He learned the music. He takes the steps. So it's not about, because to be honest, you do a party, the average dancer, they don't care what you're playing on.
Yeah.
They want to know you playing the song they like, good transition, good mix, getting some excitement. They don't care if you're playing on 1200, a cheap controller, or a CDJ 3000.
Yeah. Now, do you often do events with your son?
Well, actually, we did one together in Tampa. I was down for my fraternity's conclave.
Okay.
Shout out to Captain. Yo.
That may be another conversation. My God. Okay.
So we was down there, right? And he was DJ for about 2 years now.
Okay.
And I was scheduled to do a pool party Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yes.
At one of the hotels. And he had an event Thursday. So he came over Wednesday, got off work early, and he got on and played.
Okay.
And I thought, this is my son, stuff like that. And then he was playing Thursday at St. Pete Beach at Club Saigon.
Yes.
And I went there, and he rocked it out, and he was playing songs that I gave him.
Okay.
That's what I was like, a proud daddy moment, because he plays Afro House and Tech House.
Yes.
And he was rocking a couple of tracks that I gave him, and the kids was vibing off it. And I was like, music is timeless.
Yes.
And, and now his birthday party, he turns 30 April 28th.
Okay.
And he has a venue, bringing the DJs. And he's like, of course, I'm going to be there. We were talking about it yesterday. He said, Dad, we rock out the last set together. I was like, yeah, man. Let's do it.
Yo, you gotta put that on video, man. You should even package that. That could be a tour.
I know. That's what we were talking about.
Package that. That could be a tour. Cause I'm thinking, I don't know that many fathers, sons, or daddy daughters in the business. That would be crazy. Because that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
DJ him up. Yeah. I'll send you his. Oh boy, he made Daddy proud.
Yeah, that's all right, man. That's all right. Now, personal question: who's the better DJ?
Of course, I am.
All right, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear, Daddy. That's what I wanted to hear.
Ooh, but he can mix it when he comes up and visit.
Yeah,
like he'll bring a controller, or I got extra controller. We'll go back and forth.
Yes,
and I did that with him when he first started learning how to DJ.
Yes,
because. What I mean by how you got two DJs that got two setups, and you should be like, I play 3 records, then you play 3 records, but you should be able to mix whatever I'm playing.
Yes.
You should be able to figure out a song to say, you know what's going to go with that.
Yeah.
And we could say round robin, and a lot of DJs used to do that because that makes you a better DJ.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's fun too.
And that was, and I'm jumping ahead of myself, but we'll come back, because that was one of the things. When I saw you and Paul dancing,
mm-hmm.
Well, not dancing, but knowing that you dance and Paul dances, and then I know there was a time where you and Louis got down like that. I'm like, yo, I got to get these 3 or 4 DJs who dance and move the crowd to, just to get one segment, maybe a half an hour, where they just rocking all together. That would be crazy, man.
Yeah, that's what Luce and I was doing that night. We were going back and forth.
Yeah, that was, and and the crowd, man, for those who got up close that videotaped it and saw that you guys were playing together at the same time, they were like, yo, that's what's up. That was hot. And so I would love to invite you guys back to do that. But I want to go back to my original question again. So not only the music, but how have you seen the culture change from then to now? how else have you seen the culture change of house music and DJs?
Well, you know what I like about it now? Back in the days, there were only 2 house music festivals, maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
There was the big one in Newark. I forgot what was the name in that
Lincoln Park. Yeah, Lincoln Park.
It was Lincoln. And, so it was like 2 during the whole summertime.
Yeah.
So if you was away, you didn't catch it. And what I like about it is that now every town is having a house music festival or some type of event.
Yes.
And that some people may say it's oversaturated. Yeah, that's okay. But you know what? It gives every city or town from Edison to now South Jersey, Trenton back in 2016 with Mark.
Yep.
It gives every town to host and say, hey, come to my town and this is what we do. This is how house music is an impact on what we do.
Yes.
And that's where I see where the culture has grown.
Okay.
Because you see every weekend now. You see it now. You used to only have 2 or 3 festivals, right? And you always have Coney Island. So Coney Island is separate because that's New York, right? But now you're starting as early as June and you go into October. Yeah. So I like that. That's nice, and it's growing to South Jersey. So big up to Stephen Craig and his team.
Yep.
Because he's throwing the House Music Festival year 2.
Yes.
Mark and Trenton House United since 2016. So you talking about 8 years. And it was a couple of years before that, but you're talking about almost a 10-year span of a house music festival in Trenton.
Yes.
And I've seen it grown from the infancy to now, where last time you had Passing the Torch.
Yep. I was there. Yeah.
And that's part of the culture too, is having young jocks come through.
Yes.
And that's because that's the only way the culture is going to stay alive. I mean, most of us is our 40s, 50s, or 60s.
Yes.
God bless it. We can continue to dance another 10 years, but for the culture to keep growing, you need a younger generation to say, "Hey, let me go to these house music festivals, and because I like to dance, I'm feeling the vibe, etc."
Yes.
So, yeah.
I guess my next question in that is, and we'll tap into the festival piece too. But my next question is, these younger DJs, right? Do they are they feeling the beat? How are they learning? Are they a prodigy or protege of someone else? I mean, how are they being taught? Are they feeling the beat? Do they know the music? Do they know the backstory? Right.
Well, some of them. I mean, okay. I don't know him personally, but I know DJ Amir. He was really was mentored by Beloved.
Got you.
And you can tell. I mean, Just the DJ was also mentored by Beloved. And I could be wrong, but you can see those jocks and that's what I like with the older jocks who's going to take the time out. Like Dwayne, who was going to take the time out to mentor these young jocks and show them, the right way to mix. Yeah. Ain't the right way, but how to put a set together.
Yes.
How to move out. And half the battle is when the jock himself is into the music. Yes. So when you see DJs and they into it, they jam and they move and they dance and they bring in their energy. People feel that. Yeah. So you have energy and you're playing the right songs. You have nice mixes. You embracing technology with enhancing your skill sets and your delivery of the music.
Yes.
That's why I'm pretty happy with what I've seen so far. Gotcha. I just want to see more DJs come up, and that's going to happen.
Gotcha. Now, how do we move the culture forward in regards to these festivals? Because you just mentioned that almost every Jersey town has a festival that has a black and brown population, right? Mm-hmm. How do we move that forward?
So, do you want to keep it as black and brown, or do you want to embrace other cultures?
Oh, we want to embrace everybody, but here's the thing though. So, and I've talked to a lot of people though. There's a difference between New York house music and Jersey house music, right? Because when you go in New York, man, everybody is welcomed. But over here, they tend to think that it's just for black and brown folk, or particularly, African American. So how do we change that culture down here, right?
Well, is that you have to? I guess New York is different because it's a melting pot.
Yep.
And even Philly a little bit, because Philly has a small soulful house crowd.
Yeah.
But it has a decent house music crowd, because a lot of times house music can be techno, can be progressive.
Mm-hmm.
It can be Afro house, deep house.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to continue to branch your set.
Gotcha.
To
Okay.
say, I'm going to play some deep house in my set.
Gotcha.
I'm going to attract some folks that just like to dance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key. And I see that a little bit in Philadelphia. Because you go to Sunday Philadelphia, which is Lee Jones. He's been rocking that since 2000. And I started going in 2008. Lori and I, we started going while we was dating.
Gotcha.
And it probably a few years before that. And he used to have it right around University of Penn.
Okay.
So you got the college students coming
yeah.
out. And the DJs play, it was more soulful house music. And everybody was there just to dance.
Yes.
And you had DJs that was white,
yes,
black, Spanish, etc. So if you want to expand the population, you got to expand your DJs and your audience. And probably your DJs would be the best way to expand, because if you have a Caucasian DJ that plays soulful house, that plays music, that has a following, you might have some folks say, hey, let me go see this guy.
Yeah.
Or, if you have a DJ that plays in Philly that can be, look like me, that like my son, he plays tech house, Afro house. So he has a following. He has a mixed following.
Okay. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do down in Cooper's River, right? And again, shout out to Bobby D. He has been so instrumental in helping me meet some of those Brooklyn and Harlem and New York DJs that I like to bring them down here, and hopefully their crowd will come. Because we did a few weeks ago. We did DJ Sweet Butterfly. She's from Brooklyn.
She told me that. Yeah.
And when she came down, she brought 15 people, and she had a small set. But they said the next time she's coming and she gets more time, she's going to bring a much larger crowd. And so that's what I want to do, because I want folks in Trenton to really understand that this is house. So with consistency, I can give you something that you really appreciate. We can raise the bar as to what house music should look like and feel like and be like, right? But I also say this as well, right? There are about 20 to 25 DJs that everybody knows about, and there's about 30 to 50 songs that every time you go to some type of festival or house music event, you hear those 30 to 50 songs. So what I'm trying to do, particularly at this podcast, I'm trying to introduce other DJs to the house community. So now, because I want you, so it's not about the music for me, although it is, but it's also about your backstory that gets me excited too. And so hearing your story, I never knew your backstory, so this is exciting. But I also know that when you play, you also play different music. You also bring different music to the table, and I love that, because I want our people who enjoy house or claim to enjoy house, they need to hear something else, and not that you don't get up and dance because you don't hear your 30 or 50 songs. Right? So,
well, I'm going to debate that, Kevin.
Okay.
I'm going to debate that, and I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
And it's been always that story about DJing, because being a mobile jock, right? So I would do different events, and you got to think about this: people that's going to go out to party.
Yeah.
I'm going out on a Sunday.
Yep.
Right? I'm not a house head. I'm not a deep house head. I used to go out back in the 90s, 80s, 90s. I used to go out all the time, going out once in a while. I hear, tapes from other DJs, and these are the songs that I like. So when I go out, I want to hear these songs. Now, if you're a smart DJ, you'll play the songs they want to hear and mix it up.
Yeah.
Play some new stuff. Play a different version. But a lot of DJs get into that. So now I'm not going to play the Dirty 30. Look, you're not playing for you. You're playing for your crowd. If you want to play all new songs, then go to Twitch and do your set and build your Twitch audience, and maybe they'll follow you. But if somebody's paying $10, $20, or $30, and they come out and they want to hear Superman, guess what? I'm going to play Superman because that person's going to come back. And that night, a lady asked me to play it. Can you play Superman? And some DJs will look at her side eye and say, no, I ain't playing that. That's corny, or that's, no. I said, you know what? I'm going to play that for you. And when I played it, she loved it, and 15 other ladies on the floor loved it.
And again, remember, and again, when you announce that thought about this was debatable, I'm going to say again, agreeable, that was debatable, but a lot of times, right? Unless you are the promoter, you don't have access to that DJ to even ask that question, because sometimes the stage is set in such a way that you can't even signal the DJ that you want to talk to him or her, or sometimes the music is too loud. Fortunately, I know you, so if I wanted to hear a particular song, I could just text you on my phone and say, can you play this? Or I can walk on the stage to do that. But the other folks are not like that. So again, for me, I'm trusting the DJ to give me an experience, because if I claim to be a house head, or I make the assumption that if you're there, I'm going to try to give you a whole flavor of everything, a little bit of disco, right? That may be popular. I'm going to try to mix it in with 2 or 3 songs that everybody knows, or a different version. But most DJs, once they start doing their set, they don't want to be interrupted. So you're right. That is debatable. You know, that lady had access to you, so you were able to play Superman.
Right. And I was able to mix.
Yeah. But you know, I'm trying to think. I have not, outside of me playing it for myself personally, you know, in all of our sets, you know, since we've been doing it, I have not heard Superman.
Right.
You know, and I'm cool with that too.
Right.
You know, and I'm cool with that too, man. You know, so yeah, I'm good. But yeah, okay, I'm good.
You gotta play for your crowd. That's, and I guess being a mobile DJ and being a dancer myself.
Yeah.
You got to know your crowd. So
yes,
if Newark.
Yes.
And this is a deep, soulful house crowd with maybe. Yeah. I'm gonna set to rock it out for them.
Yeah.
If I'm in Tampa and play with my son Evan, I'm gonna play, kind of feel the vibe of the room.
Yeah.
Put in my twist, and if I got a new track that I think is going to be hot, break it out and work it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No, I got you, and I feel you on that. Now, but let me ask this question though, right? How do now we're getting a little deep.
Let's get deep, man. Come on, man.
There's a lot of DJs out here. A lot of DJs have tremendous followings, right? Some of the DJs got, 20, 30 years under their belt. How come we don't have our own venue? Because again, it's just not when it comes to DJing, right? But I take this conversation throughout the whole spectrum of everybody, including your frat too.
Right.
We've got the NAA, and now I was telling a buddy of mine, one of the things I hated about the NAACP Awards this past Sunday was that, we're celebrating all these black folks for the Image Awards, right?
Right.
On BET, but we don't even own BET anymore.
I know.
But we are excited and happy to be accepting this Image Award. And then all the people in the audience, they clearly have enough money collectively that they could buy their own television station or put together their own television station.
Right.
And so one of the things that I'm trying to do is at some point I'm trying to put together some type of strategy without, once I put together the business plan where we can have our own live music venue again. Because it bothers me that we've been rocking to house for this long, but we still don't have live venues that we can call our own. We're always at the firehouse. And again, that goes for fraternities, sororities, that goes for everywhere across the board, man. We don't have our own.
Right. Mm-hmm. Just like the whole Trenton. Somebody should have bought that hotel. That's still
and again, there are enough collective groups out here that could have done it. 3 or 4 churches could have got together and bought the hotel. The Divine 9 could have bought the hotel. But nobody's having that conversation. But they're all, everybody's shooting for the low hanging fruit.
Right.
But nobody wants to go for the diamond in the rough of that. And so you multiply this conversation all across the board, all across the country. We should not be we should not be lacking for anything.
I agree.
Because we are probably number 1 or number 2 in terms of disposable income, in terms of what we spend, and we travel everywhere we want to go.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the number 1 consumer.
Yeah. I think this year we might be on par to almost. We're not the number 1 consumer. We're number 2 now. But we're on par this year to be almost $2 trillion.
Right.
The Hispanics are about 2.1, 2.2 in terms of what they spend in buying power. Just because the numbers are increasingly growing. But that's what I'm saying, right? So just not in terms of the music venue, but just terms of every aspect of our lives. We buy Mercedes-Benz more than anybody else and Range Rovers, but how many black-owned dealerships do we have? Because again, you could clearly petition these automobile giants and say, listen, there are 1 million people, there are 1 million people that buy your cars, and more than half of them are African American. Well, how come we don't have an African American dealership, or how come we don't have more? And let's not be comfortable with accepting their answers. I digress, but that bothers me, because again, looking at the number of venues that we as promoters and DJs play at, half of them a third of them, a tenth of them we don't own.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we so quick to go there, and so I certainly, in my time as a promoter, I want to be challenged, and I'm challenging myself that at some point we have our own venue that we can rock out. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
I hear you, man.
Because
go ahead. Value power, and we need to use it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all, man. That's all. I digress. Let me get off that soapbox. But
point and we need to come together and think about that, because if we had a place where you can have house music events and you're not paying Cooper Riverview, or make a deal with them and stuff like that, we need to do that.
And then if we're not doing house music events, right? It could be our own,
right?
And that's our next section. That's our next conversation. It could be our own. We can use it for an award ceremony. We can use it for a banquet facility.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think about the number of events that we as black folks have had at Cooper River.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
the Sigmas, the Kappas, everybody.
Everybody,
and I'm not going to mention how many times black folks have had events at the West Trenton Ballroom, about 40 years.
Yeah,
and in all that time, nobody ever thought about let's pull our money together and let's buy our own place. Even the Polish folks on New York Avenue, and Ambassador Hall.
Yeah, I know.
There's less. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's less than them in this whole community, and we still give our money to them, and they just laughing in our faces. But we happy as larks to go and rock with them.
Yeah.
But we cool like that. Come on, man, get out of here. So
that's the next.
Yeah. And that was one of my conversations I had with Tommy Davis. I released his episode too. And he was telling me that upcoming he was trying to do an awards show, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
And I'm like, how I know we're different somewhat culturally, but how we have a Chicago House Music Award show, New York has its own, New Jersey used to have one, but it's changed, and Baltimore has one. How come we all can't just get together?
And come together.
Yeah. You know, and at some point, right, the promoters, the DJs, whoever are the driving forces or perceive themselves to be the driving forces, we've got to come together, lock ourselves in a room, and say, how do we make this work collectively? Create some standards, man. You know, almost like the NBA or NFL, right? You know, create some standards that if you want to do this, this is the standard that you've got to utilize. You know, because we want to make sure that more of our people eat. You know, that's all, man. That's all. This is why I love this podcast, man. Because I this conversation could never be had while you're DJing, right?
No, not at all. Yeah.
And people will never know that this is how you think. Oh, they just think, oh, that's that silly DJ that plays the good music. He's not thinking of anything, right? All right. Drum roll, please, DJ. So when you're not DJing, I want to talk to you about the drones, man, because that's cool too. How did you get into that, bro? I mean, did you say everything? We can always come back to something that's house related, but how did you get into drone flying and teaching that course?
House music, because that's even what you just talked about the properties. That's a conversation I have with myself. One of my personal goals for my fraternity brothers. Yes. But back to the drones. Okay, so he goes. The other side, another part of Ed Ward, because you know we the music, you know, DJing, producing, up to dance. You know, that's why my lovely wife Lori. You know, we spend our time dancing, and you know that's our way we bond and get our exercise on.
Now let me stop you. I think I met your wife first while you were together. And what drew me to you was what she says. She was from Pittsburgh. And so Pittsburgh is my second home, bro. So when she said she was from Pittsburgh, I'm like, oh my God. And then here you come, this awesome DJ dancer. You know what? You guys are my favorite dancing DJ couple. I don't know anybody else that DJs and dances with their wife, but I love it, brother. I love it. Okay, go ahead.
Well, but Lori is my critic.
Yes.
Because I look at her, and that's when she comes to events on DJing, especially house music.
Yes.
I engage with her because if the mix is not right, or she'll give me that look like it.
That's weak, Ed.
Right. Or if it's hot, she'll give me that look like, okay, I'm feeling. But that's my partner in crime, man. We together. That's a whole conversation. You want to talk about relationships? That'll be another podcast.
And we're gonna get you both on. But I tell you what, shout out to your wife. You guys are the power couple extraordinaire. It gives me hope. I can't dance, but maybe a woman will want to dance with me the rest of her life. But I can't dance worth shit. But that's all right. But to watch you guys dance, it is fantastic. I got 2 left feet too, bro. That's all right. but I'm sorry, Ed. How go ahead.
So so what happened was, I'm a retired educator.
Yes.
Science teacher, computer teacher, district technology director.
Yes.
Instructor, supervisor technology. I worked in Princeton, Trenton, Camden, Willingboro, and I retired after 31 years of service at Franklin Township.
Yes.
So all those years being a technology educator.
Yes.
I always was promoting innovative new technology into the curriculum for our students.
Yes.
I always wanted to work in districts where we had a percentage of students of color because they needed to see African men that's in technology.
Yes.
So what happened was back in 2018, drones in the education field. So I bought a drone. I thought, okay, I'm checking this out. Being a technology buff, love gadgets.
Yes.
And I was thinking about introducing it to in my school district.
Yes.
But issue in regards to liability, what happened to kids fly the drone and hit the teacher or something like that. They was worried about that. So I always had a knack for it. I had a drone. So when I was retiring, and I retired July 2022, I was like, you know what? I said, I'm going to teach myself something new.
Okay.
So I got my pilot license to fly drones. I have my drone pilot license. So I can fly professionally and, teach, etc. And I was flying. I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn and continue to grow in the drone photography and videography business because
yes.
I thought of videography. So that's part of my company, Edward Board Media.
Yes.
So once a lot of post video production work as well. And so I was like, oh, the drone is cool. I like this. So I got into drone, bought a drone, took courses. But then another side of me said, you know what? I want to take this industry.
Yes.
Which right now is going to be about $40 billion in 2027. Where
that quick?
Yeah.
Wow.
10% pilots that have their license are African American. There's 300,000 drone pilots, people that have their license.
Yes.
10% of those are African American. 3% of those are females.
Gotcha.
So there's a need for our youth to be exposed to the drone technology. The drones are everywhere.
Yeah.
You have the Chick-fil-A deliver drones. Your food, Amazon.
Yes.
I mean, everything from mapping to real estate. So it's an industry where I think our students, but I know our students need to expose to.
Yes.
So I created Drone Tech Navigators Academy, which is my own academy that I work with school districts, after school programs. I develop a full curriculum. I bring the equipment. I bring the drones. I bring the laptops. And I teach coding. I teach drone technology, teach students how to fly, etc. So that's my passion project that's been going on for the past 18 months.
Brother, I love it. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my thing, if you haven't noticed, this podcast came out of entrepreneurship. So I used to be the executive director, and I still am, of Minding Our Business. So we teach youth and adults how to start and run their own business. So I gravitate to anything that's entrepreneurially based. And the fact that we're teaching our young folks to grasp new technology and new innovative ideas, I love it, man. So thank you. So I'm getting 2 for the price of 1 today, brother.
That's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So now let me ask this question. So what is the challenge in terms of our black and brown brothers and sisters embracing drone technology? Are they afraid of it?
No, they're not.
Okay.
I got a contract with Franklin Township.
Yes.
And I teach high school alternative education kids.
Yes.
And they are interested. They love it.
Yes.
I mean, you got out and where, they can see the relationship. So you're talking about, you have a Formula One driver.
Yes.
And you have an operator, flying a drone at 180 miles per hour, recording this guy racing his car. And they're looking at that like, that's something I can do when I play my video games. Because say, but you know what? Yeah. There's a whole career behind this.
Yes.
And the key is that we have to introduce our students to these careers. And a lot of times, school districts, A, they don't have the personnel.
Yes.
Or B, they might not have the equipment. And 9 out of 10 is the personnel. School district will buy drones or robots or computers.
Yes.
But you need individuals that has experience in the industry.
Yes.
And is willing to teach our students.
I love it, man. I love it. So what's next for you in terms of drone schooling?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's
no, I'm saying what's next for you though? What's another challenge that you're looking to take on regarding drone technology and flying?
Well, the key is build the business in 2 fronts. I'm still gonna move forward with Drone Tech Navigators Academy, and if you go to drone.com, that's my website.
Yes.
So I continue to work with the school district, different after-school programs, promote the program, looking to hire some instructors.
Okay.
Go out and teach at full course. I have the equipment, and I want to build the program to really have our youth be exposed to drone technology, programming tech. I got a drone course where the kids can learn how to program Python and program in drones. So, and I do elementary, middle, and high school because I want the kids just to have a chance, just to be introduced to it, say, hey, this is it. Maybe this is something that I want to get into. Just like, the different various sciences, there's so many careers behind it that our kids just need to be exposed to the various careers and know that, you can do a career in video editing. You can do a career if you love music. Everybody want to be a rapper. You know how much money the producers make? Or the person that's doing the mix down? Yeah. We need to expose them to the different careers.
Got you. And that's the key for us, because as technology is changing, as our world is changing, right? The opportunities for our young folks are not the same that it used to be when you and I were coming up. And we need our young folks to embrace that, right?
Yeah.
Because again, with technology and AI, a lot of the jobs that we used to have are not there because AI can do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now you had mentioned, I'm all over the place. You had mentioned you being a producer. What songs have you produced?
Yeah, you said it?
Yeah, I said, what songs have you produced?
Oh yeah, I'm on Track Sauce. If you look me up, yeah. I did some work for good friends of mine, Vanessa Smith. I did a couple of remixes for some producers because I used to play on Cypher Jam internet radio.
Okay.
So shout out to Cypher Jam, Sammy Rock, and I did a lot of producing for some of their artists.
Okay, now because you produced, do you turn around and play some of that music for us when you're DJing?
Once in a while. I haven't done it in a while, and I need to. Because this was back in, 2015, 2016, I was doing a lot of producing. And I think next time I play, I'm going to break out some of the tracks for that.
Yeah, because, we want to hear that stuff too, man. We want to hear your full repertoire of music, man, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Now let me ask this question: is there a bias in the drone industry when it comes to having black and brown folks learn the industry? Is there a bias in that?
Well, it's not enough of us. I mean, that's the key. Is like if I look at people of color that's into teaching drones, there are like 4 that I know. There's a lady in Delaware, there's another lady down in South Carolina. She's doing very well. There's a guy that shout out to Drone Cadet. He's in New York City School District doing some fabulous work. Droneversity is in Delaware. So you have pockets of us because there's very few of us in that drone field.
Yes.
Our goal is, especially the drone pilots or people that's in that drone industry that's interested in the K-12 space, in introducing this technology to our kids.
Yes.
So, and we won't see the fruit of our labor right away because you talking about a 3rd grader or a 4th grader or a 5th grader, but you may see 5 years from now that 5th grader is now getting ready to graduate high school, can get his or her drone license at 16 and say, hey, you know what? I might want to start a drone mapping business.
Yes.
I want to start a drone photography business. I may go into movies and be the drone operator that's flying and doing the movie shots.
Yes.
And that's what we want to introduce to our kids so they have options, and they're learning science. So they're learning how to create, communicate, and solve problems because we really need problem solving.
Absolutely. Now, have you thought about mixing both of your businesses together, where the drone is flying overhead or flying over the audience as you're DJing?
Well, it's kind of hard for me to do, but I have done like the Trenton Music House Festival.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, I did fly through it on social media. Yeah.
Got you. But isn't there a stabilizer over the drone that the drone can just fly over top of your head for like 2-3 minutes right before you have to cause it to move on?
I mean, I can have the drone on autopilot while I'm DJing, but I'm kind of like breaking my FAA rules because I'm supposed to be pilot in command at all times. So I would need somebody else to fly to record me while I'm DJing. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Because I was told that you the baddest man around, so I thought you could do both at the same time. That's what I was told. That's all I know.
I mean, I can, but I don't want
I just
like I can record myself, like if I'm running or something like that, because it can track me. But like the DJ, then our brain can only do one thing at a time. We say we multitask.
Yeah.
Our brain can do only one thing, so I can mix, and then I gotta make sure, even if my drones are autopilot.
Yes.
But what happens if that bird's coming?
That's true too.
and I'm sitting there dancing, and all of a sudden my drone goes down. Yeah. So I would definitely have someone fly for me.
Now, speaking of the bird attack, what type of insurance do you have to carry when you're flying drones?
Minimum $1 million policy.
Wow.
Yeah, you got. If you want to do it professionally, you got to have $1 million policy.
Okay. And then what's the height ceiling that you can fly at?
Maximum is 400 feet. If I had to go over 400 feet, I would have to get FAA approval.
Okay. And certainly you have to be so many miles from the nearest airport, right?
Oh yeah. It's so much like you can't fly near airport unless you get FAA approval, which is called LANC approval. If you're doing a special project, which they'll contact the airport and they'll send the parameters out. But 9 out of 10, 90% of the time, we don't fly near airports. Even if there's local airports, Trenton, and it's on my map when I take off, because I'm sharing airspace. A plane can be at 300 feet as they're descending, or a helicopter.
Yes.
So and manned aircraft has the right of way.
Got you. This is interesting, man. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. And so you certainly can do the drones at weddings.
Yeah, that's another venue people can do, because now people want wedding shots.
Yeah.
You can do events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a buddy of mine. He used to be in Trenton. He did some work for me. He's down in South Carolina. And he moved into weddings, into real estate now.
With his drone.
Yep. Weddings in real estate, where people are looking to buy a house, right? And so he's already done the footage of the house and the surrounding area. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's an industry because you're getting an aerial shot. You're getting a different perspective of, especially a large property, different perspective of the property.
Yes.
And it's definitely a selling point.
Wow.
In weddings, people love shots. I mean, you do an orbit shot where you go around them, or you do a pull away.
Yes.
I mean, you getting a different. It's really a camera. It's a flying camera.
Yes.
So you got to know photography. You got to learn the back end, how to. I wouldn't say develop these days, because we don't develop. How to process and edit your pictures and your videos using the latest software.
Yes.
And that's a whole industry. As in the photography industry. Now,
2 questions. How do you go about working for, say, an Amazon or Chick-fil-A in terms of their drone delivery program?
It's when they have openings.
Yes.
Well, the first thing you got to do, you have to get your Part 107A. So you got to get your license.
Okay.
There's a trust certificate for recreational flyers only, where you can go out and fly just for recreational purposes.
Yes.
But if you want to get paid as a drone operator, you got to get your Part 107A.
Got you.
Once you get your Part 107A, then, there's going to be openings for various companies that's looking for drone operators, and it goes from every single spectrum. Police department, they have a drone unit now, because they use that as a tool, search and rescue.
What do you mean, Trenton Police Department?
I don't know if Trenton does, but I know like Franklin Township, they recently have a drone unit. So a lot of townships, they starting to do it because it's really a way of, it takes a drone, a couple of minutes to go out a mile to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And you have an aerial view, and they got cameras where you can zoom in.
Yeah.
And you can actually see people, what they're wearing. Actually, that powerful camera is that, they can use it as a tool for law enforcement, search and rescue, and that's what's going on now. So
I saw this movie, forgot the name of it, recently on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And it was overseas, but the whole city was mapped out. That there were drones. There were the police were responding to whatever occurrences, but the drone was doing the normal policing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the operator, who was maybe at 100, maybe 100 feet, 50 feet above the he would call into certain cars in that area if he saw that there was someone breaking in, and I was like, wow. Now my question is, do people that are in that space, do they think that it's intrusive or invasion of privacy when you've got a drone always hovering around your neighborhood, or do they feel an extra sense of safety?
That is an issue. I mean, because there are some communities where they hire drone operators to fly around, especially at nighttime.
Yes.
To surveillance the community, which is more of having that person in your car driving around your neighborhood.
Yes.
Some folks have a problem with that because, you're getting an aerial shot.
Yeah.
So you're getting an aerial shot and you're flying past somebody's backyard who has a privacy fence. And you have a drone that's flying there. It is an invasion of privacy. People get mad at that. In some cases, people will take their guns and try to shoot the drones because it becomes a nuisance. So you got to find that balance.
Yes.
With your community to say, hey, you know what? You're going to fly the drones maybe this particular time, etc. But yeah, it is a topic of discussion because that's invading your privacy. Yeah.
But I tell you what, I love it, man. If I'm doing nothing wrong, then fly that drone, please.
Right. But what if you're doing something? You're sitting in the back and you're having your girlfriend over and you're in the back jacuzzi, and you hear somebody.
Well, I just better put a tent over the jacuzzi so I can do it. I still need your protection.
Right. So, and that's what you got. People, it's give and take.
Yeah,
you give up some of your privacy rights to be protected, or you can. Yeah, that's basically you got to find that balance.
Yeah, I got you, man. Right. No, I think that Brother Ed, all the work that you're doing is fantastic, man. Just keep teaching our brothers and sisters about the opportunities that are out there, man. Anything else you want to share about the drone, man?
Well, it's my passion. You're gonna see, like I take a lot of photographs, throughout Trenton, Philadelphia, wherever I travel, I take my drone.
Yes.
I got some nice Pittsburgh too. The river.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's it's therapy because it's just me and my drone, flying, etc. And of course, I'm a cyclist, so I love to cycle. That's another story. And it's something that I want to share with our youth and share with our community.
Yes.
It's definitely a field that's going to grow, and I want to see more kids of color get introduced to this technology.
Yes.
And next level.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I love it, man. And from my first meeting, from my first introduction to you, with you, loved your spirit, brother. Love your spirit. And that's one of the things I love about house music, man. I have not let me say it. Thus far, I have met one bad spirit, but for the most part, from the house music lovers to the promoters, everybody's got this spirit of just love, like no harm, no foul, man. We just come in peace. We just want to dance and keep the music loud, with the bass thumping, right? That's it, man. So I love your spirit. Thank you for being on the platform, man. Thank you for just sharing. Did we touch upon everything that you wanted to talk about?
Oh man, there's so much I want to talk about.
Well, I mean, we got time. Unless you want to come back for part 2, you let me know, brother.
Yeah, we got part 2. Because a lot of things to talk about, especially the culture, and the aspect. That's very important.
Yes.
We do, because it's a lot of money that's being generated. It's a lot, of venues and events that we have.
Yes.
And that's important, that if we can get a place and come together. But folks got to be able to come together, and it's not a competition. And okay, you may compete with DJs in a friendly competition. Say, I like that track. I like the way he plays.
Yeah.
Because overall, everybody gets a better product.
Yes.
But we have to be able to come together and put our egos aside and say, what can we do together as a community? And the best way to start, Kevin, is really start small.
Yes.
And work way. Like, start with Trenton.
Yes.
Or Burlington County.
Yes.
And say, hey, let's get the promoters together and start off where, if we have our events, let's design a calendar.
Yes.
So everybody has their event, and there should be never two events on the same day.
Yes.
Because that sucks. Especially where you have a small amount of house heads that want to support everybody.
Yeah.
And you're still going to compete with the events in North Jersey and Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But I think a good way to start is bringing everybody to the table and say, hey, let's have this community. And let's have some standards. Let's put some rules on how we're going to get on and support each other. Once you have that collective bargaining, then you can, you know what? Now we're consistent. We have our events once or twice or 3 times a month. Everybody's eating. Let's find a place that now we can schedule our event.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Right. Let's build. And, and it doesn't have to be, a famous building. I mean, you may have the issue with liquor license, because that, some houses like to drink. That may be an issue. But you can always have BYOB.
Yeah.
And still have that good time, because you're not going to see house heads getting drunk and falling all over the place. That's not the culture.
Yeah.
That's not what we do.
No. And again, BYOB is probably best for us, because that just limits another barrier of trying to incur that cost.
Right.
Yeah.
And once you start doing that, you get a place, and, you're going to have your events. Let's say Stephen Craig's going to have his events. Mm-hmm. Mark's going to have events. And, Barry B and his team. So how you got different teams, in this area, and a 30-mile radius.
Yeah.
I just named like 6 teams of people doing house music events.
Yeah.
Let's more work together.
Absolutely.
And build that community and say, hey, and the first part is just, hey, let's just do a call and everybody just talk about your events and what do you want to do and see how we can help each other.
Yeah.
That's the part.
Yeah. From your lips to God's ears, I hope that it will work. I'm all willing to do that and don't mind being at the forefront pushing it, right?
Right.
Because since I've got into this space, you will see that's all I've been talking about and wanting to do and push, right? So we'll see what happens, because I've got no problem, setting my ego aside and working collaborative and collectively with people,
Yeah. And that's the way it's going to work. I mean, if everybody wants to eat, so if everybody's eating, but if you're cut costs about renting a place and you have your own spot, you're going to attract other people and it grows the culture.
Yeah.
People can sell it, like when you had, I forgot the young lady's name who was selling her T-shirts. I mean,
Butterfly. Her fans, yeah.
Yeah, I said that's part of how you have a space and you say, okay, let's get the vendors involved.
Yeah.
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 So,
And for my next two events, starting in April, particularly in May, we're going to be outside. So I'm encouraging vendors to look me up, look me out, and we've got a vendor opportunity for you. The other thing too that I wanted to share with you, just for people's education, is that because I'm in a venue, I need a certain amount of people in order to break even.
right.
And so we need to be somewhere between 150 and better for me to break even, for everybody to be happy, So we need to encourage that. And so that's why I'm trying to, once we get into the warmer weather and we're outdoors, I'm trying to rock every Sunday, even though we're going to have competition for those folks who are going to be out of town and for those folks who have gone up North Jersey on Saturday. But I want them to know that consistency. We are going to be here, particularly outside, in the warmer months, doing cigar in house. So if you want to come down and enjoy a good cigar, you don't have to have a cigar, but certainly if you want to enjoy house music, and I'm trying to really incorporate DJs, known and unknown, to come out and play on that platform, we certainly want to create that venue to do so. Then we want to build the consistency that at some point we feel comfortable enough, or I feel comfortable enough, that we're ready for the next step, and the next step would be our own venue, because we know that we've proven ourselves that this model does work, right? So that's where we are. And then the other, and when we can talk offline about the other things that I've got in the works that I'm working on. But you are famous, brother. Thank you. Love your style, man. Love your style, brother. Wow,
I'm humble. Yeah.
You are more than humble, brother. You are more than humble. So thank you.
Yeah. Cool.
And can I tell you something? They're probably gonna beat me up when I say this. You certainly don't have a Trenton spirit, brother. When you say you were Brooklyn, I was like, yep, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it, man. The Bronx, I'm sorry, yeah. But it's still a New York spirit, though, bro. The Bronx spirit, man. Like, that's not a Trenton spirit, brother.
Well, I've been in Trenton since 2013. I used to work for the school district.
Listen, it don't make no difference, man. You have not allowed your spirit to be tainted, brother, or compromised, right?
Well, it's how you look at life, man.
Yes, sir.
It is. I mean, especially, professionally working in Camden, Trenton, and you can't let negative vibes kill your spirit.
Yes.
And I always say it takes less muscles to smile than frown.
Yes.
And if nobody's paying my mortgage or anything like that, who cares what they think? It's like, look, go out, be who you are.
Yes.
Be true to yourself, true to others. Yes. And people. So I thank you for that compliment.
Yes.
Because you try not to get caught in the drama, and that's what we need to avoid.
Yes.
Drama.
Yes.
There's good friendly competition, but you don't need backbiting, backstabbing, because we never get ahead.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. You can say that again 1,000 times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any final shout outs that you want to share with anyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to shout out blackgirlstamp.com.
Yes.
That is my beautiful wife, Lori Ward's clothing line. She just released it a couple of months ago. She has some nice pieces. So, ladies, check it out, blackgirlstamp.com.
Now let's get her to come out one Sunday to Vin, man.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're thinking about it.
Yeah. So when you guys and then tell her to bring someone else to man the table, because I love to see you guys dancing, man. I am dancing through you guys. I'm living through you guys as you guys dance. Anyone else?
So I'm let you know that she can rock. She's the better dancer.
Well, I've seen you guys dance together, so that's a great thing. Yeah. And anyone else want to give a shout out to?
No, that's about it.
Okay.
Of course, my company is edwardswoodmedia.com.
Yes.
That's where I have my DJ work, my drone photography, videography work, my education consulting business, Drone Tech Navigators Academy. That's where that's where my post-retirement, I think I'm working harder now when I was working, because you work for yourself and you love what you do, it's really not work.
Exactly, man. Exactly, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a good brother. I appreciate it, man.
No, listen, man, and again, as I said in the beginning, we wanted to give you the platform to tell your unabridged story. So when folks look at you, they've got a better thought of, this is Brother Ed. He is more complete than this, right? And and you've been rocking on the scene, 40 years almost, right?
Yeah, man.
So people want to know the iteration and your innovative style as to why you are where you are, man. And so that's why this platform is such.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Brother Ed, thank you so much. We're going to stay connected because we're going to get you and the team to rock out again soon at Cooper's River.
Oh, yeah, definitely do that, man.
Right.
I look forward. I like to rock it out,
Absolutely. All right, brother. Let's talk in text and stay connected.
All right, man. All right. You got it.
Yes, sir. Peace, man.
Be blessed. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
And I look forward when the podcast comes out, because I'll put it on social media.
Yeah, I know you will, and I appreciate that. In a minute now. Thank you, man.
All right, you take care.
Yes, sir.
That concludes another episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. We hope you found this episode informative and enlightening. If you have any questions or comments about any of our episodes, please call 609-731-9311 or email kevin@minding-our-business.com. We look forward to joining us for our next one. Until next time.